Harimi, harimi, al tirai, harimi, al tirai. Imri le'arei Yehuda, hine Elokeichem. Harimi, harimi, al tirai.
We're on page 292 in the bilingual edition, which is in the middle, towards the end actually, of Siman Kuf Chav Daled, towards the end of Siman Kuf Chav Daled in the Simanim. Okay, we've been talking about evil. And part of most of what we've been discussing in this section, right after we talked about how evil was created, now we're discussing how evil fits into a specific system that God created. We're just going to shut that door. And since there's evil in the world, last week or 2 weeks ago, we mentioned that it looks like sometimes, chas v'shalom, that the world just operates by happenstance. There's no rhyme or reason to anything. We see righteous people suffering, we see evil people prospering, and that could be a very big test for a person. A very big test. How come I'm working to be righteous my whole life and I'm suffering? And I see my neighbor who cheats and steals and kills, and he's doing very well for himself. How could that be? So the Ramchal writes, Kizeh want to say, and this is the test. Liros hayamdu b'nei adam b'emunasam. This is people that have their faith. V'lo tamish milvavam hayesed atku aleimor. And the strength of their faith that they have doesn't falter at all. And they say, Vade kelemuna ve'einavo. For sure, there's a trustful God, and He doesn't do injustice. Afal pisha ein anam mevina drachim. Even though we don't understand His ways. Part of, I think, the human being's arrogance is that we feel like we have to understand every single thing that happens. A tzaddik says, you know what? I don't understand how God operates, but I know that He's a trustworthy God. Valzan namar, and this is what it says, the tzaddik b'emunaso yicheh. A righteous person, in his faith, he'll live. U'kamoshe b'yarnu l'malek, like we already explained. V'hinei, zeh gadol me'od, mis'alim hashleimas ha'elyon. This is a great benefit for man, and the fact that evil has this ability to darken the clear thing of what's happening. Now think about how much reward is going to be for the righteous people who are able to overcome this challenge. And how much great reward they're going to get in the world to come. And this is Hashem's honor. It sounds like he's singling out this test as opposed to other tests that human beings go through. The fact that it appears in the world, because since there's evil, since God made evil, it appears that Hashem, chas v'shalom, is not running things. When a righteous person is able to overcome that challenge and say, you know what, I don't understand specifically why God is doing certain things to certain people, but I trust that Hashem is a faithful God. When a tzaddik is able to overcome that challenge, so you can't even imagine the reward that such a tzaddik is going to get in the world to come. And he says, and you see from here, that the evil is actually this evil which exists, which produces the darkness that the tzaddik can't see why things are happening. That evil itself is a reason that he's going to get that reward. So in the end of the day, we see that evil is a reason for good, because it's through that evil that the righteous person will be getting his reward. In the end of the day, in the end of everything, the purpose of the evil is only for good. But only through the mechanisms that Hashem made through the world. That we talked about, through all the events that happen in the world and through all the mechanisms that Hashem made in the world, it's going to be good in the end. Now, if you would just take evil independently, you take out evil through Hashem made a system of how the world operates, and part of that system is evil. If you would take out evil and look at it independently, for sure, then evil itself is just pure evil and is pure destruction and is horrible. But when you place it, but when it's placed in the system, then you see that evil itself is something that mankind needs, and it causes his rectification. Because even though evil independently, when you look at it by itself, its purpose is just to do bad. But when it's in partnership with the systems which Hashem put in place to rectify everything, evil exists only to be destroyed, only to overcome it. So what's the purpose of evil? Is that we overcome it. So when you look at evil by itself, yeah, it's a very bad thing, very horrible, horrible thing. But when it's placed in these systems of, you look at how the world operates and the purpose of creation and all of that, the purpose of evil is to be overcome. So human beings need to have a Yetzar. They need to have an evil inclination. They need to have evil desires. And the purpose that they have these desires, that humans have these desires, is not to go follow them, to conquer them and to wipe them out. But because of this, even though evil, its purpose is to be destroyed, that doesn't mean that it's not still evil. Just that the evil should be do this good thing of rectifying a person. Like we explained. And not to destroy human beings because it is in this partnership with the mechanisms that Hashem placed in the world. So in the end of the day, when we get the fruit of our labors because of these systems, what's the whole purpose of everything? What is the fruit of all of our labors? It's the gufa that this evil will be destroyed, and we will rectify and complete all of the things that lack in the world. So we need that evil to do our mission. When Hashem set up the world, like we explained, Hashem placed everything in the world for the first person, for Adam, for the time of his service. Like we discussed in previous weeks, there's two periods in the world. There's the time of serving Hashem, time of avoda, which is where we're now, and then after, it's the zman of olam haba, the next world, where we get our reward. And like we mentioned many times, that when we say olam haba, the Ramchal learns that olam haba is this world we're in now will be recreated in the world to come, where we will get our reward. The true olam haba is not where neshamas go now. That's olam haneshamas. That's a separate thing. But the true reward is going to be in this world as it's recreated. So Hashem made evil. Since Hashem prepared everything for Adam in this world of service of Hashem, the Zman HaAvoda, included in that was evil. So first Hashem made evil, like we explained, and then he made all of the systems and placed evil within these systems. And the systems were that evil should ultimately be destroyed. So he creates evil, which independently is totally bad, but then he placed it in these systems, and the systems, the purpose of that is to destroy the evil. We'll just finish this paragraph. And everything else needed for man's completeness and his good. Therefore, evil was limited that it can't do whatever it wants. On the contrary, so one could have thought that Hashem created evil, and that evil, do whatever you want, destroy the world. No, that's not what Hashem did. Hashem created evil, then he placed it in these systems, and in fact the purpose of these systems was that evil should ultimately be destroyed, that it should be acted upon by the actions of man to be destroyed. Right? We do not believe, again, we mentioned this before, we don't believe that Hashem created evil and now evil is some independent power that could do whatever it wants. That's not our religion. We believe Hashem created evil, but it still only operates within Hashem's power. In addition, it was placed in these systems which human beings will act upon to destroy evil in the end. And then afterwards, after Hashem created all these spiritual systems, Hashem created this lowly world and human beings which are in it. All of the good attributes, which are all this heavenly systems which we mentioned, and even evil itself. All of these things that Hashem made, even evil itself, is for man's good. Now the end of all of this, when the fruit comes about from all of these things that Hashem made, that is the ultimate rectification. Now, we're not there yet. We're not at Olam Haba. We're not at the ultimate rectification of man. So now we still have evil. So we know that the ultimate purpose of having evil is to overcome it. So really one could say that evil is also here for man's good. But he says, nevertheless, since we're not at that point yet, evil could also be for man's bad. How so? If man doesn't conquer evil, then evil is going to not be for man's benefit. Because then evil will increase. The more we feed the evil will increase. And then we won't have a rectification. So it's a double-edged sword here. Really, Hashem created evil itself is really a horrible thing. But Hashem created it and placed it in a certain system that man could act upon it and has the ability to destroy it. So that's the purpose that it was created. So in the sense that man will overcome evil, evil is good. But if man doesn't overcome evil, then the evil will get stronger, and that's very bad for mankind. But after all the service of man is done and evil is destroyed, as shalvos kol habriya, then there'll be peace and tranquility in all of the creation. Tia nitzchis, and will be eternal. Shall tipasik klav eker, and it won't stop at all. So again, the thing is that evil was made for man's good, but only if we overcome it. It's very dangerous because if we don't overcome it, then evil will get larger. But the ultimate purpose, the reason that evil is good, is because it's through overcoming the evil we rectify the entire creation and we earn tremendous reward. And he started at what we started today with at the beginning was that specifically having faith in Hashem, that Hashem runs the world, even though because of evil it doesn't appear that way, is a great reward for the righteous in the world to come. And it sounds like that's that specific test of having the world appear has upon him, where Hashem is hiding himself and evil appears to be running everything, and we believe that we might not understand why Hashem does something, but we know Hashem is running everything. That is in itself a great reward. Okay.